more often.
Iraq orders a roundup of thousands of Americans and other Westerners. Saddam Hussein plans to use them as shields in 100 different sites. President Bush says they are hostages and demands their release.
This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting tonight from Baghdad, Iraq. Good evening. This is Iraq's Monument of Martyrs, commemorating those who died in Iraq's 8-year murderous war with Iran. What the wall represents for the Vietnam experience in the United States, this represents for Iraq about its war with Iran. This is a city and a country that believes U.S. attacks and a new war may now be inevitable. We'll show you around Baghdad a little later on the broadcast, but first, today's major developments.
Iraq today confirmed that Americans and other Westerners have already been positioned as human shields at military and industrial sites. Diplomatic sources say they have independent reporting on this. CBS News was told tonight by a senior Iraqi source that President Saddam Hussein wants foreigners distributed to 100 sites around the country. In Iraqi-occupied Kuwait, 12 Americans and dozens of other Westerners have been moved to undisclosed locations. Saddam Hussein today ordered U.S. and other embassies in Kuwait to be closed by noon Friday, leaving foreigners with no place to go for help or protection. Iraq's citizens have been told to turn in any Westerners they see. They have been warned anyone who harbors a Westerner will be subject to, quote, the harshest penalties. Read that, death. And in Baltimore, Maryland, President Bush finally says it, quote, the Americans being held by Iraq are nothing less than hostages. Wyatt Andrews reports.
George Bush today acknowledged that he now faces the very kind of crisis that burned the last two American presidents, Americans held hostage.
We've been reluctant to use the term hostage, but when Saddam Hussein specifically offers to trade the freedom of those citizens of many nations he holds against their will in return for concessions, there can be little doubt that whatever these innocent people are called, they are in fact hostages.
The president denied he was turning up the heat, yet emphatically signaled that while holding Americans is one thing, harming them would draw a military response.
And I want there to be no misunderstanding. I will hold the government of Iraq responsible for the safety and well-being of American citizens held against their will.
Beyond hostages, the president's more subtle mission today was to prepare the nation for a long, extended showdown in the desert. Because Mr. Bush is worried that stalemate could sap the national will and erode support, he now describes a crisis with no quick or clean ending.
A crisis that will require American planning, patience, and yes, personal sacrifice. Will it take time? Of course. For we're engaged in a cause larger than ourselves.
There was also a verbal attempt today to hit Saddam Hussein where the U.S. thinks he's vulnerable: religion. Tired of Hussein's calls for a Muslim holy war against the West, the president countered today by claiming that hostage-taking is anti-Islamic.
You are violating the norms of your own religion. You are going against the age-old Arab tradition of showing kindness and hospitality to visitors.
The president has left unspoken his obvious decision not to let the lives of the hostages be the only motivation in his thinking. He vowed the United States would not be intimidated, an implicit warning that Saddam's use of Americans as human shields will not, by itself, deter a shooting war. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Kennebunkport.
The rounding up of 12 more Americans by the Iraqis from Kuwait City hotels over the weekend has heightened fears that the Iraqis' human shield policy is being implemented. Yet although it says it has reports that some of those Americans have been moved to strategic locations in Iraq, the State Department says it cannot confirm exactly where they are.
We know that at least 12 American citizens who were staying in hotels, that is the Hyatt, the International,